Alright, so doing this video to help you guys get 192 gigabytes of RAM working. This is 4 sticks, 48 gigabytes each. So I have the Corsair Dominator titanium. These are the 66 mega transfers at 32 CL, I believe. But yeah, and then these don't come in a 4. They only come in sets of 2. I did hear that to not have problems, you need to have both sticks that come in a pack together. So both on A and both on B. So don't do A1, B1, or A2, B2. Put them together. It's supposed to help. That being said, as you guys can see, 600 or 6,000 mega transfers. I don't know why it says 174 here, but if you guys see over here, 192 gigabytes. And then it's at 32. Let's see. And then this is on a Gigabyte Aorus Master, and I'm running Ryzen 9950X. So yeah, so first thing you're gonna do is either from the start or restarting, you press the delete key. I've realized that if you press the delete key too early, it won't like boot. I don't know if that's just me, it'll like mess up or something. But usually I wait a little bit. Give me a sec. Also, for whatever reason, so if you guys just saw, I just disconnected this because for whatever reason, the BIOS on this does not work whatsoever. Well, it does, but it's super blurry. It literally feels like you forgot your glasses and you're watching it from far. It's just super blurry. You can't figure out what's going on. And for whatever reason, it's using this screen instead of that one. So, whoops. So just hit the delete. Hopefully it'll work. Might have been too late on that, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Yeah, it was too late. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect this one because this one kind of sucks. And it'll be doing its reboot thing. So I realized that when mine's ready to reboot or to go to the BIOS, that will say 99, but it's also nice because I don't have to keep pressing the key, because this will actually like turn on. It's got this battery saving mode, but if you guys see 99, then it'll go to A2, so that's when you hit the BIOS, and it'll go to boot, hopefully. There we go. So it's nice, so you don't have to keep hitting the delete key, but I will show you the settings that I chose. Also, another thing I want to say is, I don't know if it's just my BIOS or what, but sometimes if I move the mouse and don't move the keyboard first, it will just freeze. And I can't do the keyboard, I can't move the mouse, it'll just freeze for whatever reason. So FYI, I would recommend to just start moving with the keyboard. But so yours will probably look at easy first, so this is what it'll look like. And then as you guys can see, it says motherboard, motherboard, CPU, and then RAM. And then this is the version I have. But yeah, so you go to advanced, you go to your tweaker, so it'll probably start over here. You go to tweaker settings, you go down to, let's see, yours will be all the way up. There we go. So yours will be up here. You want to go down here. So you want to enable XMP1. So I didn't get one with Expo. I don't know if Expo will work for you guys. I'm gonna be honest, when I first started this, I didn't know there was a difference. Quite frankly, I didn't know a lot about computers in general. This is my first PC. But yeah, so just enable Expo, and then, whoops, sorry. what that'll do is that'll just give you the timing and stuff, so it'll be a nice place to start with. So the first thing I did was, so I just enabled Expo and enabled bandwidth support, and then I did I left that one. I believe the first time I left this at auto, and then I did this at auto and this at auto. But what I did do was bump up the V core sock at 1.3, and then the CPU VDDIO, the DDR VDD, and the DDR VDDQ at 1.4 for all of them, mainly because that's what it said on the computer, but also based on a lot of resources that I got. And then also I want to give a thanks to Game Tech Reviews and actually Hardcore Overclocking, because their videos are what helped me be able to get this running, and running it first at 192, but also getting it faster. So that's essentially what I did. I didn't change anything else, and then I just, you know, hit boot, and it did start at 5200, which was nice, but I'm greedy, so I wanted to do more, and for whatever reason I could not go over that 5200 no matter what I tried. So then that's when I found Game Tech Reviews video. So if you go to advanced memory settings, so one of the things you change is these two. You just enable power down, so enabled, and then memory context restored enabled. And then the other thing is, so I left those as it is. I've been trying to mess with them. Man, it's been days since I've been doing this. Cannot for the life of me get this to work. I've gone through like several videos. I don't know if the problem is because I'm running four sticks, and most of them are running 2 sticks, and then most of them are actually just running like 16 gigabyte sticks or 32 gigabyte stick. But for whatever reason I can't get these. Like the most I got was to get these the TRCD and the TRP at 35, but it actually ran a little worse on some bench tests, so I just kind of deleted those until I can figure it out. But anytime I moved any of these to what they told me, it did not work. But to get this running, all you really need to do is move these over here. So try to keep this as stable as I can. Processor CA drive strength to 30 ohms. Processor CS drive strength to 30 ohms. DRAM ODT impedance WR to number 4 or 60 hertz, I think it is. Just 60. And then the bottom, so the 100 DRAM ODT RD also to 60. The impedance, DRAM ODT impedance, WR to 120, ODT impedance PARC to 48, and then DRAM ODT impedance DQS RT PARC to 40, and it'll be 44256. Yours might look different. Sorry, keeps unfocusing. Yours might look different. So the one video I saw did not say PO right here on any of them, and I was confused. But as long as it says WR, DRAM impedance WR, DRAM impedance RD, DRAM impedance WR, and then DRAM impedance PARC, and then DRAM impedance DQS PARC, then you should be good, and you'll know it is because it'll match these. The other thing is they switched these, but he didn't have the pull up, pull down. His was just one, and I tried setting it, but it did not work. Like, it would not even boot. It just kept giving me an error. So I just left those auto. The one thing that I did switch was the processor DQ drive strengths to 3.43 ohms. And then he did switch some of these, but just like the other one, he didn't have the pull up, pull downs on either one of them. So when I tried messing with it, it just did not work. So that's all I did. That's all I switched, and that's when I was able to get to from 52 to 6,000. So if you guys can see right there, frequency 6,196 gigabytes apparently. So after that, you can boot. That being said, after some research, so like I said, this was on, here, let's see. So this was on auto, and I'm pretty sure it was setting it to UCL, sorry, it's on the way, UCLK to mem clock 2, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio, which from based on actually hardcore overclocking, that's only better if you're like down in the 76 to 8,000 mega transfers. And then since this one's only rated at 66, I didn't want to go up, but it was able to go to 6600 and on that one, and it booted just fine, it worked just fine. And then, but I wanted that 1-to-1 ratio, so I just did 60. I couldn't get 62, 64. I have heard some people that once they mess with the settings that I told you guys I couldn't try, so the sub timings, not the first ones, but the advanced timing control, I've heard that some people were able to get faster speeds after doing that on a 1-to-1 ratio. That being said, that's not with 192 or 4 sticks. These are all with 2 sticks. So I don't know if it'll work for people like us that are trying to do 4 sticks to get the most out of it. And then the other thing, once you make sure, so the first thing you want to do is make sure it boots. So I heard 66,000 is a sweet spot. You can try lower just to make sure it boots fine, and then just start going in increments of 2. Or you can go all the way to 6,000 if you want. But once you make sure all that boots with the other stuff that I showed you, then you can mess with the clock mode and the infinity fabric. So with the 1-to-1 ratio on 3,000, it's gonna, if you put it on auto, it'll be 2,000 because it'll give you that sweet 3-to-2 ratio, which apparently it's good. But what I did find out is if you bump it up, so apparently you can bump it up pretty high according to actually hardcore overclocking. Most people can't do over 233 unless you get like that silicone chip. That's like the best. 22 will kind of boot, but like it won't. Like when I tried it, it like booted, and I tried running like a test, and it just like froze. So I had to like do BIOS, and he said after you find that like spot where it'll boot and it kind of doesn't work, back up to, for me that was 2133, which he said that was pretty common. And honestly, a lot of stuff just like went so much better with that. So I would definitely try to increase the infinity timing to make sure that you get all of that from your memory. And like, I don't do gaming, so I don't remember if this will help a lot with gaming, but just so here, we'll boot that, but just with rendering programs, it did pretty well. So I noticed that stuff was booting a lot faster. I'm working with like some STLs that are over, I want to say like 100 gigabytes or something like that. I'll show you guys, but it boots a lot faster. So as you guys can see, it's booting. And since I didn't have to do, just know whenever you do that, it might have to retrain the memory. I don't for whatever reason, or because I just didn't switch anything. I'm just restarting it, so it's just going to go straight to this. Alright, so this is it booted up here. So these are one of the programs that takes a while. Give it a second to finish loading. Alright, so here's this. So I'm trying to do a wheel. So this usually takes a long time to do it, but if you guys see, it's pretty quick. And then, I don't think this one tells me how big the files are, but it's a lot of points. And then just, come on, just getting these, so yeah, a lot of vertices, a lot of triangles. Let's see, model library. So if you guys see, these aren't too bad. Where is it? But yeah, if you guys see 17 gigabytes, 15 gigabytes, 15 gigabytes, 15, almost 16 gigabytes, and all of these are meshed into that one place right here. And before, it would take like a minute or two to load. Now it just takes a couple of seconds. So all of these are put together to make this one over here. But yeah, it makes it so much faster. I ran some tests and I can show you guys. So just close all these. I don't need them. So yeah, I don't know which one we should do. We'll just do 3D Mark. I decided to do this one because the other one takes too long to do, and I can show you guys this one real time. So you can't do a stress test. I would definitely recommend doing the stress test before anything else, because I've actually done 3D Mark. I've ran, what else do I have? So I've ran several of them of 3D Mark, so I have the paid version, so several of them I've run. Benchmark, Cinebench was a little bit laggy, but not too bad. Like after the second try, I was able to do it. But once I did OCCT, and all of these are free, so all of these are free. This one, I think they have a free version, maybe not, I don't remember. I just paid it because it has like all the ones you can test. This one's free. I've heard they have like some bias against Ryzen chips. So I just did it because it like gave me a score overall of everything. That being said, the servers are always full, so I honestly been a week since I've been able to get this. OCCT is a good stress test. The only bad thing is for the non-paid version, you can only do an hour, but if it's pretty bad, you'll get an error, and that's nice because if you have speakers, it'll actually tell you, so you can just be doing whatever you want somewhere else, and then this will tell you if there's an error, so you don't have to wait for the full hour. And then it'll do all of them, so you can do CPU, RAM, CPU, Limpack memory, 3D standards, 3D adaptive, and VRAM. That being said, the ones I'm going to do is the benchmarks. Sorry, I keep focusing on the wrong thing. So you do have to wait 10 seconds for the non-support or the non-Patreon version. It's not too bad if you're only doing it once or twice. That being said, I've been doing this every change I've done. And resetting the BIOS, like I said, I've been doing this for days. Kind of weeks, because it's between work too, but for the most part days, and it's a pain in the butt having to wait those 10 seconds every time. But I don't want to do Patreon just because it's a monthly thing. If it was just a one-time, like here's $50, fine, but I don't like doing monthly fees. But yeah, and it's nice because it's only 40 seconds for the benchmark. And I will say, when I upped the mega transfers, this score went up a lot. So for the CPU, it's kind of hit and miss. Some stuff go up, some stuff go down. It's probably just what's it called? Probably just within that air limit. The thing that does go up a lot is the memory and the latency. So when I bumped up the mega transfers from 36, which is what you start with, to the 52, it went up quite a bit. And then when I went to 6,000, it also went up quite a bit. And then also when you, so like I said, do the what are they called? Infinity ribbons or whatever they're called. But when you up those from the 2000 to the 2133, if you can, or whatever the highest, heck, if you can go to 2233, that'd be great. It helped a lot, like drastically. So the read and write, I think when I first started, let me double check. Yeah, so when I first started, like back when I first got the RAM to start working and I hadn't overclocked it at all or anything, this was as 1004. This was at 938, and I think this combined was like 961 or something, which is crazy because it's almost doubled over here. This one's like 160, which is crazy because it's almost doubled over here. This one's like 160, 1.6 better. So it's a big difference. And then we'll do this one. So there we go. All right. But yeah, it definitely makes a difference. Like I said, especially when I didn't really pay too much attention when I did the mega transfers from 36 to 52. And then from 52 to 6,000 on how applications went, just because I was just trying to get it as high as possible. I think I did notice a little bit better, but definitely when they did the ribbons, the infinity ribbons, from 2000 to 2133, you can definitely feel like the app's opening so much quicker. Honestly, it's really nice. So there you go. So cache 1, 2.4 nanoseconds, read and write, and so on. So yeah, these also definitely went down, and I think these went up. But yeah, I'd say definitely just do what I said, and you should be able to get it up there and get your system running a lot faster. Let's see. Oh yeah, I want to show you. So like I said, you can do the RAM, and what's nice about this is you can set up how much you want to use. So I would say 100, just because you want to make sure it works. I think this one's mainly just in case you're running several. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I want to show you guys that this will literally run as high as it can. I've never seen it go to 100. I think the most I've seen was like 99, 60%. But yeah, it'll start going way up there. So I'll pause this until it starts doing it, unless it's going to start. Oh, there we go. It's already starting going up. So it does it pretty quick, and I think it does it for the full hour. So it's a good stress test to make sure that the whole your memory can handle all this. And that's nice because it'll tell you the temperature as well. I will say, like, especially if you're 3D rendering and stuff like that, like the application I just showed you guys, you will need like a lot of memory, and so you want to make sure that all of it works. Because when I was rendering that wheel that I just showed you guys, it was using like 92% of the RAM. So it was using, or not percent, 92 gigabytes of the RAM. So, but yeah, and I'm not gonna do it for the whole time, but if you hover over, or maybe click on it, oh, there we go, it tells you what the max is. So alright, so I just wanted to leave these here so you guys can see the settings to change. This is really what it helped, other than like putting up the voltages up. But yeah, if this video helped you, subscribe. I plan on doing more videos. because I am recording, like I said, I have been recording the whole process. So just showing you guys what each thing did and how much it helped with the benchmarks and stuff like that. And then just showing scores. So follow me if you want to see that. And I do eventually want to overclock the CPU and the GPU. So I'll probably be recording that progress as well, showing how each one of those will help and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you guys liked this video. Hope it helped you like it helped me, and hopefully you guys can get your PCs running as fast as possible. Hope you guys have a good one.